What's going on there, Bush? Bull Ray King 508 back at it again today for you guys. It's been a hot minute since I had talked about this team. Yeah, it's actually kind of funny. It was 4 weeks ago that I talked about Steeler fans chanting "Fire Tomlin." Well, after that, they went on a three-game winning streak. They beat the Ravens, they beat the Dolphins, and then they beat Detroit. Out of those three wins, the Detroit game was most impressive because they dominated Detroit on the ground, 230 yards of rushing, the most since 2016 with Le'Veon Bell. So it a lot of Steeler fans. Um, saw this team, saw them winning, but then we have the Tomlin game, which is him playing a below 500 team and losing. Uh, Tomlin will have these games on Thursday night. He will have these games at certain times of the year where you just sit there and you're like, why in the hell are you losing to teams like this? Where you should be dominating them. He, listen, I'm just gonna get straight to the point. I think the Browns game kind of shed some light on how Steeler fans feel, myself included. Um, they should have won the North this past Sunday. Um, should have been a convincing win. You know, you play a 3-12 team and you just find a way to lose. That pissed me off. I think the way they played pissed me off. I'm not gonna blame the defense because the defense played solid. The defense has stepped up a little bit, but outside of that, this team went back to doing what they were doing when they were getting their teeth kicked in by the Buffalo Bills, by the Los Angeles Chargers, by the Cincinnati Bengals, by the Green Bay Packers. They were doing what they always do, and that is underachieve. Play down the competition. And that's seemingly what they do every single year. This year, last year when they lost 5 straight to end the season, I wasn't shocked because by the time they got to the playoffs against Baltimore, I already knew they were going to lose. They were down 21-0 at halftime, and I just sat there and I was like, yep, same head coach, same result. And you know, I was listening to a lot of people this week, and a lot of Ravens fans feel that John Harbaugh should be on the hot seat too. You know, because a lot of Ravens fans feel like they haven't gotten enough out of Harbaugh, even though he just took you to the AFC Championship game uh, literally 2 years ago. Not his fault the way that game went down. More of the quarterback's fault, but hey, you know, what do I know, right? Mike Tomlin's a different story. You know, I can make a case of why Harbaugh should not be fired. Mike Tomlin, I can make a case of why he should not, why he should be fired. Harbaugh, why he should not be fired. Tomlin, why he should be. Mike Tomlin, for 15 years, he's 3-9 in the postseason. Hasn't won a game in 10 years. Hasn't been to an AFC Championship game in 10 years. Hasn't been to a Super Bowl in 15 years. Haven't won a Super Bowl in 17 years. As it stands today, on the last day of 2025. By the way, Happy New Year's to everybody out there. Um, I'm not shocked by the way that this season has gone. Because they're going to finish 9-8 or 10-7, and that's going to be the result of a Mike Tomlin team unless he's gone. You know, you're going to get this type of result. The offense has been bad or inconsistent all year. Defense has been atrocious. Now they're starting to play better, but too little too late because you might miss the playoffs. Um, they're going to play the Ravens. And even if they win against the Ravens, your first opponent in the postseason is the Houston Texans. Steelers have never played the Texans in the playoffs. Baltimore has twice, winning both matchups. Um, but if the Steelers win, should you keep Tomlin? And my message is to Art Rooney, the second. Mr. Rooney, no matter what happens, whether they win the AFC North and then get blown out in the postseason, nothing should change the fact that Mike Tomlin needs to go. He couldn't develop a quarterback. He wasted good rosters. He's proven that he cannot coach in big games unless they are against good teams. Because when they play against bad teams, suddenly they get exposed. Can't win on Thursday night. Can't win in the postseason. Doesn't value offense at all. I mean, there's a lot of things wrong with Mike Tomlin, and I think that when he's gone, I think Steeler fans will feel a sigh of relief because they want something new, including myself. You know, we need a head coach that is willing to adjust to the times. There's only a few head coaches that come to mind. I don't think a lot of people talk about them, but there's one that really comes to mind, and I don't think a lot of people give him credit for what he's done with the Minnesota Vikings, but I would give Brian Flores a head coaching job with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, I know people are going to be saying, oh, but he's a defensive head coach. Don't you want an offensive head coach? That's true. But the standard has always been defense for the Steelers. And I think that Brian Flores is well connected to an offensive mind. So he could probably bring in a staff where he could find a offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator, or he could be the DC himself and call plays. Because Brian Flores has proven that he could go toe to toe with some of these elite, talented rosters and still beat them. He had a great record in Miami. I would not be disappointed to get him. I think he would be a good, fresh set of eyes. But I think my Tomlin's done. I truly believe that. I don't think the Steelers will win against the Ravens. I'd be shocked if they did, honestly. Even if they did, I have no faith that they'll beat the Houston Texans because I think CJ Stroud will probably blow them out at home. So, because that's what Mike Tomlin teams does. They underperform when the lights get bigger and brighter. They don't adjust. They don't do anything. They play the same damn defense. They play the same shit, and they get exposed. And nothing has changed. This would be the first set of change that I think this franchise needs. If they lose, I guarantee you one thing. If you thought the firing Tomlin chance 4 weeks ago was bad, on prime time on a Sunday night at home in Pittsburgh, it will be louder. It will probably be the loudest chant you will ever hear. Because you can't spit in the fan base face the way that Mike Tomlin has for 10 years and not show him the door. I'm not saying you fire him, but I would say it's time for him to go. whether that be telling him to go on his own, because I don't think he sees the writing on the wall, and I think it's time. It's time. It's been time. Um, I think Pittsburgh needs a change. The fan base needs a change. We all need to see a change in Pittsburgh. There needs to be a rehaul. This roster has gotten slower. It's gotten outdated, and there's not anything that they do that, you know. There's no creativity. There's nothing. It's stale. Players don't want to be there. I guarantee you, if they let Derrick Henry do to them what they did to him in the playoffs last year, I would not be surprised. I'd actually be like, called it. But I think it's time. John Harbaugh, I got nothing but respect for him and the Baltimore Ravens. I've always had respect for the Baltimore Ravens. I just don't like Lamar Jackson. Um, I have my reasons why, but you know, it for me, you know, the reason why I don't like Lamar is because too often he's injured. Too often he doesn't want to play in meaningful games, such as playoff games. There was one in 2022 where he didn't want to play in the Cincinnati Bengals game because he honestly could have gotten exposed by the Bengals. Because I think that Baltimore Ravens roster at the time was good. They had solid defense, and they just didn't they're not the quarterback that they needed to win that game. Um, you know, he's had 3 meaningful games in the playoffs where he's won, but outside of that, he really doesn't impress me. And people probably are looking at me sideways, but I think that for Baltimore, if they win, they probably beat the Houston Texans. Um, if not, I don't think the Steelers will. I don't know. I just think the Ravens will probably win. Um, I think Derrick Henry's going to go off. I have no faith in Mike Tomlin. I think by the end of this year, there has to be. I think by the end of this week, or by the end of next week, I think a decision should be made. Anyway, guys, if you want to see more videos like this, please make sure to go hit that like button. Make sure to go subscribe to the channel for more. Also, I want to thank you guys for subscribing in 2025. You know, I've seen the subscriber level go up over the last few months, and I can't thank you guys enough for all the content that I, bring to you guys. And no, I don't do it all the time, because I'm dealing with other stuff. But I appreciate you guys nonetheless. The support you guys are giving me, the love that you guys are giving me, I do appreciate it. And yeah, I think 2026 hopefully will be better. Um, because I got a lot of things to do in 2026. I got a lot of things to see in 2026. I got a lot of games to go in 2026. So, anyway, this has been your boy Red King 508. Happy New Year's to everybody watching this video. And leave a comment below who y'all think is gonna stay, either Harbaugh or Tomlin. And if so, who do you think can beat the Houston Texans out of the two? Let me know. And this has been your boy. Happy New Year's, and I'm out.